Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a video about the new chart generator update that I've just finished now. The chart generator 2.6 and the battle station also has been updated in tandem with this as well, because now the battle station and the chart generator will communicate with one another just so they can share information. I'll show you that in a minute. So what you'll seen the download. Okay, if you're not already familiar with how to install these, okay, you will open the zip file and you'll get two files. The chart generator, which is the actual program, and the DLL file, which is a necessary file to extend the functionality of all the tools that I use now, just basically making them better. Things that Mt4 can't do, the DLL file can. The DLL file is just basically like a Windows app extension file. As you know, just be careful with these DLLs. Don't install DLLs from untrusted sources, because potentially they can contain, viruses and things like that. But I can guarantee you mine's absolutely fine. So what you want to do is you go File, Open Data Folder. That will bring up your current Mt4's installation data folder. You want to go to MQL4. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the Files folder. Okay, if we go in here, you'll see a lot of files in here. You just need to delete them. I know it sounds scary, but delete them if you've used an old version of one of the other chart generators. If you've used an older version, there's going to be files in here that the new version will not like, and you'll cause it to crash, because the old chart generator used an old format to save data and things have improved and such. So we need to clear this all out. You will lose any workspaces that you've saved in previous chart generators. You will have to log back in. What else will you lose? Sometimes other indicators and things will save things in here. It's very rare that they do, though. Only big apps like this one generally do use this space. But just simply, what you'll have to close Mt4 first, but delete everything in here, and that will just get rid of any old files that we don't need anymore. That's in the MQL4 files folder. Don't make sure it's that one. Don't delete files out of the other ones. Then what you want to do is you want to go to the experts folder, and it's in here that you want to put this guy in there. Oh, that's an arrow. So the chart generator ex4 file goes in the experts folder, and the DLL file, it needs to go into this folder, libraries. Okay, so you can see I've had some other test DLLs in there as well. So make sure that the DLL file's in there. Once you've put those files in there, you should be good to go. Okay, let me bring up my notes so I don't miss anything. The first thing you'll notice, so if we just open a chart, I've got the Euro US dollar here. Okay, so if we open a chart here, the first thing you'll notice when we load the chart generator on, oh, by the way, when you open Mt4, you'll find the chart generator in the expert advisors area. If you haven't obviously done this already, if you've used any of my tools, you would have by now, but just make sure Tools, Options, you want to go to the Expert Advisors tab. You want to make sure that Allow DLL Imports is ticked. And remember what I said before, they can contain potentially dangerous code. So make sure you only use trusted DLLs. You can trust me. When you restart Mt4 after installing the files, make sure you restart it so it refreshes everything. You'll see the chart generator here. Now, to load it on the chart, you can only have one chart generator loaded. There's no reason for you to want to have two loaded. Okay, so you just pick a chart that you want to load it to, and you'll see what happens in a minute. So we load it in. Just make sure here again, Allow DLL Imports is on. Here's some input settings. You will need to put in your username and password. Just be aware that all the tools now share the same login system. So Generally, once you log into one, it kind of logs into them all. Generally, these are okay to be left. These are just default settings for the panel, so you can change these here if you want to, but you can also change them on the panel anyway. The download module is a thing that brings up the history downloader and starts downloading history if you need it. That's specifically designed there for the Renko charts. So anyway, all you really need to do, put your username, password in, press OK. These settings should be okay by default. Tinker with them later if you want. Now what's happening here is, see what happened? The chart generator is actually going to clear out and blank out the chart and just create a nice workspace for you. I found that people were getting confused having the candlesticks in the background and the chart generator on top here. We just want one tab that we can basically dedicate to the chart generator. So what I've also done here is I've made it rename this tab down here. Okay, so when we have all our charts open, we know where the chart generator is. Okay, so that's a nice little handy feature. The user interface has been updated. Obviously, you can see some colors on the buttons and things like that. If you've got a high resolution screen like me, the older versions, this panel here, the text would be too big. It'll look all screwed up. So now, hopefully that's been fixed. So anyone who's got high resolution screens should kind of see what I see here. When you load the panel onto the chart, not only does it blank out the candlesticks, it removes all indicators as well. So there's no conflicts. This chart that it's attached to should just be dedicated for the chart generator. We just want to avoid conflicts. There's no reason to have a chart to do technical analysis on with the chart generator in the way. So we just want its own space there. So I've tried to make that as automated as possible. For those of you who don't know how to use the panel, basically what you do is you just select your options here, what chart you want. If you want candlesticks, so let's say I want an 8-hour chart, candlesticks chart. Start time, we can specify GMT start time there, but I have the presets here. Now, an important thing to notice is, so we'll do a New York close. That's what NYC is. New York close, London open, and New York open. Now, with these presets, it was very challenging to sync up the daylight savings time throughout the year because the New York close GMT time changes with their daylight saving settings. Same with the London open. So that the panel's got to sort of recognize what part of the year it's in and the rules for the daylight savings there. So it does that automatically now. So when the daylight savings shift in these time zones, it should automatically reflect in the panel. The only caveat there is it may be a few days off, but 99% of the time we're going to be good. So what we do is pretty simple. You add the chart, it will add to the list. Okay, if we click on the list item here, we can modify it. If we want to add a new one, we can do that. So we just go add a new chart. So I'll be as brief as I can here. Let's make a Renko chart. Renko charts, how many pips do you want the body size? We'll add that in. Medium Renko, you can experiment with that if you want. Hieken Ashi, there's been a few requests there. New York close Hieken Ashi daily. Let's put that on the Aussie dollar. So we add that. Obviously, we can delete. And change these. If we want to change something, we just select it. So we want to change this Renko chart to 25 pip. Just go OK, update. We can also save our lists here. Okay, which is very important. One of the benefits of this panel. So if I click save, it'll bring up a little thing. So we'll just say it's a test workspace. Doesn't matter when you save it, you can do it before or after you generate the charts. And that's pretty much, once we've set up our charts here, that's all we have to do. It's good to save it beforehand, I don't know, just in case it crashes or something like that. Found in the development stage when I was making this and we had errors and things like that, it was good to save the workspace so we could come back where we left off. So I'm going to generate a 8-hour candlestick chart to the New York close. Pound US dollar, Renko 25 pips, and a Hieken Ashi. So there is a bug, a known bug, and that is if you add like non-currency pairs here, sometimes it freezes the charts and they won't update, so be aware of that. I'll be working on that. Click load workspace and it's going to go ahead. Now this is the history downloader module. data download module. So what it's basically going to do is download the history and make sure that there's enough candles there to create the Renko chart, because it can't create a Renko chart without decent history. So here's our New York close, the US dollar Swiss franc, 8 hours. Okay, if we do that, we can see that they are 8 hours apart. Now I also have updated the battle station too, so this is something I'd like to show you. I'm going to have to quickly pause the video and put the battle station into debug mode so I can show you something. Okay, so I've turned on a special debug switch here. So when I click on a signal here, it will simulate as if it just formed and send me an alert. So this is one cool feature of the new panel and the new battle station. We're going to get very detailed alerts here. This is a good chart to try it on. Let's just give it a whirl. So we'll click on U and look at this. This is the alert you'll get. It shows you the symbol, says it's an 8-hour chart, tells you what GMT preset it is, New York close chart. We had a bearish outside candle. All right, and we even get more detailed alerts there. So if we put that candle on a resistance level, we click on that again, look what happens. We get an even more detailed message. Okay, so it's same message, but it says it bounced via a resistance level. We can even probably throw a trend line on that as well. And let's test that out. Yep, bounced via trend line resistance. Let's go back. Okay, so we've got inside candles here as well. So it's just basically going to give us very detailed alerts. Let's try this. Here we go. So what happens here is the message gets truncated a bit. It gets squeezed down. And the reason I've done this is so it will fit onto your iPhone message. If I make it too long on the iPhone screen, it will just cut half the message off and go ... So I've tried to condense it down as much as I can when there's a lot of data in the message. So we shorten down US dollar Swiss franc, so the UC 8-hour New York close chart, bearish outside candle, bounced via a resistance level and a box resistance. Okay, pretty cool. All right, so anyway, I won't talk about the battle station too much here, but you can see the messages are pretty cool. Here's a Renko chart. So a nice full Renko chart here, thanks to that history module, data downloader module. And we've got some reversal candles here. So if we click on that, it's pretty cool. Hey, so pound US dollar, 25 pip Renko chart, very detailed. Bearish Renko rejection candle. All right. And if we place a resistance level on that, it will tell us exactly. And I mean, we can do it for the bullish one as well. Oops. So bullish, bounce via support level there. Let's even throw in, let's get, sorry, the triangles don't work on here. Only rectangles do. Triangles will work on the candlestick chart. So if we do that, here we go. It's a pretty detailed message. GU 25 pip Renko chart, Renko rejection candle, bounce via support and a box support. All right. So hopefully you get the idea. We get pretty detailed messages now. Let's go to Hieken Ashi. Someone asked me about Hieken Ashi today. Let's try this. Hieken Ashi inside candle. We don't get the I haven't really refined battle station signals on a Hieken Ashi chart. I actually don't have that much screen time with Hieken Ashi to basically program any reversal signals here, but the current quality control filters do not like the reversal signals on Hieken Ashi, like this guy here. Actually, we can try turn those quality control filters off, and we may get some things pop up here. So we want to scroll down into the battle station and turn off these guys. Candle range filter off and swing high-low filter off. We might get something if we do that. We've got double inside candles there. They didn't seem to appear before, but no luck. All right, so basically that's a little demo. You can experiment with it, but the battle station's pretty clued into what's going on with these custom charts we're building. Okay. Oh, that's one thing I've got to show you. So let's do a new workspace. Now there was a bug before when we selected a new workspace, it didn't clear the list. Okay, every time we select that new workspace, we want it to clear the list so we can refresh. Pay special attention to this. This button here, okay, this is an add all button. All right, so what you want to do is say, okay, candlestick chart. You basically set everything up here. We'll go time frame 8 hour. And let's make a set of 8-hour London Open charts. So we don't have to worry about that. We got it on candlestick. You can choose your template here as well, guys. I have the battle station installed on my default template, and the new battle station, I've gone to a great deal of effort to program it so that when we load a huge stack of charts, custom charts here, the battle station doesn't overload the chart generator. So we click add all. And you're kidding, it's not going to work. Add. Okay. Freaking out there for a second. Alright, so we've added, what that add all button does is adds everything that's in your watch list here into here. Because whatever in your watch list will also appear in this drop down menu here. Now what you need to do, I don't know, it's not for all charts, but for these London Open 8-hour charts, I've got to do that again because it reset. So new workspace, 8 hours. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, it's not going to work. Okay, I broke it. Looks like I broke it. Something happened there. I'll have to track that down. Usually it works fine. Okay, everything's the same. We'll add. All right. Okay, I don't know what the problem was before. If you find any bugs or anything, let me know, give a detailed description, I'll try and work it out. Now, very important, we want to remove any real exotic currency pairs that we don't use or any non-currency symbols. You can try them if you want to, but in my experience, they're causing issues at the moment, and if you have them in your list and you generate your charts, they will generate, but they won't update like live charts. They'll be frozen from the point when they were generated. So I have to go through and delete all these charts I do not want. Anything that's not a currency pair, so we've got to get rid of gold, silver as well. I will track this down, but I wanted to release this. Let's save that workspace. So we'll call that London Open 8H. Okay, save that. We'll tell you the workspace is saved. Now load that workspace. So this is going to go through, might take a little bit. It's going to generate all those charts that we've specified, and I'll pause the video and we'll come back when it's done that. Okay, so all the charts are generated. As you can see, the tabs down the bottom, they all get renamed so that we can identify what tabs are what chart. If we go back through the log here, the battle station will give you some messages. It knows it's running in a customized candlestick mode. And if we get down to the bottom here, you'll see this message, chart generation detected, waiting for the chart generator to finish generating the charts. So that's just a message there letting you know that it knows the chart generator's basically churning away, building these charts for you, so not to initialize the battle station yet, because battle station's a pretty big program, and so is this. So it doesn't want to. We don't want to dump everything onto the charts while they're loading as well. It freaks Mt4 out and it breaks it. So we have to. That's what the new version of the battle station has: this delayed loading system that works in tandem with the chart generator there. So very important that you update to the latest version of the battle station so you actually get that functionality there, so you don't break your Mt4. So all the charts are loaded. Okay, so we click on that, we'll actually see 8-hour London chart, and there's the mean value as well. So actually, if we put a support level there, okay, support level there, we should get a very detailed message there. Pin bar bounced via support level and mean value, and let's push this to the limits. We'll put a box there as well. So 3 technical points there that's going to pick up, and it does. So you see it's condensing the message down like I told you before. Bounced via support level, box support, and mean value support. All right, and I think that's pretty much as far as it'll go. But there's a lot of information in that message there. What do I need to discuss with you? Okay, with the workspaces. So actually, we'll leave that that line there. We'll get that box back out. Okay, let's just go to the next chart. I don't know. We'll put a trend line here, and I don't know. We'll get some Fibonacci. Let's just make a mess here. God, let's put a stochastic on here. I know you think I'm crazy right now, but there's a point to this. So if we go back to the chart generator, now what we actually do is if we go back to the workspace and save it again, so we click save, it'll give you a message. Are you sure you want to save this workspace? Okay. Okay, workspace is saved. Now if I close that, okay, let's close the panel down. We'll go back, we'll load that up. Okay, we'll go back to our workspace here. Now let's reload that workspace. Okay, so we finished reloading our workspace. So let's have a look what happened. It remembers where everything was. So it basically saves your chart, your technical analysis. It works with everything. If you have indicators on here, you know, I don't know, you've made them Fibonacci's, those Gann lines and whatever. You put it on this chart, it will remember. It will remember custom indicators that you've put on the chart. It will also remember their input settings as well. Let's go to the pound. Here's that trend line and the Fibonacci I put down, and it remembers the stochastic as well. Okay, so that is one cool feature of the workspace. That is a very powerful addition to the panel. Very helpful with Renko charts, since really with any of the other tools out there, you can't really do this. You can't save your actual workspace, and basically, like with Renko charts, you know, you draw all your levels and do whatever you have to do on there. Then you want to save your status. With the tools out there at the moment, I mean, you lose all that. You have to keep replotting all your levels and such. So I put the workspace in there because, you know, it's desperately needed. What else do we want to talk about? I think that's basically it. If you have trouble loading the panel, I should have said this at the start of the video, but I left a note in the thread and the installation procedure there. It needs Microsoft Framework 4.5 to operate with that DLL. Now, I think 4.5 came default with Windows 8, so if you have Windows 8 and above, you're pretty good. But if you're using Windows 7 or you're using one of those emulators on a Mac like that VirtualBox, you do need to get that Microsoft Framework update on there. With those Mac emulators, some people have had some trouble. It's a bit of a technical process, I think, a bit of a trick to it. I don't have a Mac, so I can't, and I'm not Mac savvy. I can't really do any tutorials yet for that. But that's the problem if you can't get it to load on any Macs there. So that's the chart generator. And I'm just looking through the update notes here. Yeah, I think I've covered everything here, basic use. So you can have a lot of fun with this. So if we go to a new workspace, we could basically go with Renko. Renko size, we'll just, I was just going to do this again. Let's close that. Let's open that fresh. Okay, it's working now. So it's a little buggy. To create a new workspace, you may have to restart it. But yeah, so for example, we can make our Renko workspace. We can save it. We can just call it Renko. Click OK. Okay, and now we can basically, you know, switch between our London and our Renko. So I'm not going to click. I'm not going to click load workspace because then it's going to want to download the history of all those pairs. That's going to take a while and a lot of data to download bandwidth. If you want to stop that, you can go to Expert Properties and turn this off. Turn the daily download module off, and that will stop that. But the consequences of that are the Renko charts will only be able to generate it off whatever history is stored on your hard drive inside the Mt4 folder, and you're probably going to get a lot of charts with only a few candles there, 20 candles if you're lucky. So if you're really passionate about Renko charts and you need to generate a whole list like this, maybe set this up before you go to bed and then hit that load workspace with Renko with the data downloader module on, and just let it download the data overnight, because it's going to be pretty slow. If you don't have fantastic internet, especially, it's going to probably take I'd say a few hours actually. So that's it. So this is the latest version of the chart generator. Very happy with it so far. Just a few annoying bugs to iron out there, as you can see. Let me know what you think. And I've opened up the thread there, so if you have any problems, make sure you give me a detailed description. Think smart when you are having problems. Just give me as much information. Tell me what windows you're running, what you've tried, etc., etc. And yeah, have fun with it, guys. So I'm going to stop talking now. This video's gone for half an hour already, but there's a lot of potential with this panel, especially I'm getting into the London Open charts right now, so it's providing to be a very helpful tool. Let me know how you go and have fun, and I'll see you in the war room.